Hi everybody, welcome back to Cids Modded Life Season 2, episode 180 with me, Cid, and I've got some plans for today. We are going off the beaten track. Well, doing something anyway. I have a build box, and it's night time. Let's sleep. So we're not working on the Hoofer Medusa dinosaur area today, Jurassic Land. I had done a little bit of tidying and landscaping around the area, but and I don't want to do any work around here because obviously here's just a lag fest, even though it's, you know, reasonably things. I have got some plans to do with that stuff. I'm just pointing at that with my finger, but you can't see my finger. I've some plans for this here, but not today. So I want to go and find us an area somewhere away from all of these areas, but you know, even within a kind of a distance of here, so we're not traveling too far. And I want to build something very buildy. What? I thought I saw something on the map. Something good, something interesting, something different, something with a purpose. Let's just wow, laggy. We'll leave him alone. So let's go. I think maybe I don't want to be in a swamp. Maybe there. I kind of like that. That looks interesting. Yeah, actually no, that doesn't work for some of my plans. Maybe there then. Yeah, I like there. There's good. There's got a certain je ne sais quoi to it. So I am going to head that way. Yeah. Ow. And well, I'll see you there. Yeah, I think this place will do. Right, first things first, need some stuff. You need to be set to sand, because I want to go up in the sky a wee bit. So, yeah, what am I building? Well, I've been talking about building a teleporter nexus, a kind of a point where all of the various things come together. So instead of me teleporting from Olympus to, well, from the monument back to base to go somewhere else and backwards and forwards like that, we kind of have a three-way thing where you come to one point and then you have like some choices from there. And I wanted to build something semi-appropriate for it. So this is going to be awkward. Hup. I come with a whole load of stuff, and we're going to start off with some of this. I need I think it's my toolbox. Yes, and we're going to make white. Actually, just make a whole load of white. There we go. Now I've got plenty in the toolbox, so and then we'll start off with just a little platform, I don't know, like this to start off with. Now this is going to go, by the way. This is not a permanent part of the platform. So when you think of teleportation and stuff, you generally think of science fiction shows, and consequently my thoughts down here are to, where's a, I've got a torch, yes, excellent. Okay. Oh, that was silly. There you go. Whee! Right, that will do us nicely. And oh no, and then we'll pardon, we'll choke a little bit. Excuse me if my voice is still a bit crappy, but that's such is life. So what I want to do up here is I want to build a UFO. and I'm going to put a beam. We're going to be abducting something. I don't know whether it's going to be a coup beastie, if there's a coup beastie in the area, or there's certainly horses to choose from. We're going to have a beam. We're going to have a nice saucer-shaped UFO. We're going to have a very archetypal glass dome on the top. I didn't bring any glass, that's the point. Doesn't matter, we will work our way around that. We've got levels to play with, and if I were to... I'm going to get rid of Jurassic Land because we've got that... yeah, we'll get rid of that. And we'll just do this one as temp, just to tide us over. New, there you go. Lovely, so we can always get back if we need to come in. So first things first, we need a nice lozenge-shaped UFO body, reasonably large, mainly white, and then we'll kind of get fancy with it once we've moved on. I need to come up with a kind of a shape and a size for that, so let me do that, and I shall be back with you in a second. That's right, that's the actually additions villager house. Just wondered which one that was. Yeah, back in a sec. Alright, so we're going to start off with a base shape. Now this is obviously the base of the base, and if I were to go up a level, we've now got coming out from there 5. Wow, this is big. I may be making this bigger than I need to, you know, as I so often do. So that comes out 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And we probably should consider sleeping. Might not be a bad career move, building in the air like this, and I don't want it to blow up. But it's going to be a very loose. This is an 11 deep, 33 diameter disc. I'm probably going to go through... Wow, that was loud. I'm probably going to go through a fair amount of this, so that's a thing. And we are almost certainly going to need to light the ground up beneath us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, the other thing is white against white, really hard to see. So this is going to take a wee bit of doing, but once we've got this kind of filled in, we'll be able to then do some detail work. So I'm kind of taking sometimes you have a very firm idea with the detail in your head, and at that point you can more or less start straight in with the detail and have done with. At other times the detail is hazy, for want of a better word, and consequently you don't always have the same kind of vision that you would have had if your detail was more, you know, more formulated. And in my experience, when you get to that particular state of play, you are better, 1, 2, 3, to just kind of go with your gut a little and just see what works. So there's 4 of these. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we've got that one comes in this way 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. And now we're out of juice again. I'm not worried about falling because obviously I've got my feather falling. Well, I've got flight, I think is the appropriate word. But make me those, and those, and those. Thank you, and that should do us. Yeah, so it's just a matter of having when you've got the vision. Sometimes you've got a very firm idea in your head of what you want to achieve. Other times, not so much. And there is no right or wrong answer with these things. You just have to kind of work with the tools you've got. Sometimes the inspiration is there, and you've got a really strong vision, and you know, everything falls into place properly. Other times, not so much. This is going to be one of those second times where you kind of build up your palette and then work from there. I will get that done and I shall be back in a sec. Alright, we're running into a slight bone meal shortage. We have got a saucer here, which I am going to just temporarily illuminate with good old-fashioned torches, because that's, I think that works out the middle, doesn't it? Middle and middle, yes. Yeah, just because really we need to illuminate this, but we've got basically half a saucer. I mean, literally half a saucer. This is, you could put a cup in this. It's more like a, well, I suppose it could be considered a shallow bowl as well. However, we do need to get this illuminated properly. I probably haven't got enough torches on me to do that. Well, I say I've probably got some more somewhere. I always seem to have more somewhere. Like that, perhaps. Let me have a look. Torches and lights. There we go. Let's go and grab those then. Okay, and maybe just do that temporary. No, that's not working. How about that? Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to keep this thing somewhat illuminated. I need to probably land before I crash and burn, quite literally. And we need to think about what we're going to do about bone meal, because we really don't have a lot of it. Let me just quickly sleep the night off. Even though we are safe up here, I don't really want a whole load of mobs spawning underneath. We're probably kind of inadvertently creating a mob farm underneath here anyway, because it will presumably be reasonably dark. But then again, maybe not. I mean, we are a goodly way up, so who knows? But that, I mean, it's not a massive saucer. It doesn't. I don't want something that's huge. I did think about doing this and then maybe making a kind of another bit that sticks out, and I might do something a bit more fancy. But we really do need to quickly head back home, because bone meal is going to become an issue, and we've got a reasonable amount of bone blocks, but we haven't got an infinite amount of bone blocks. Now I can just go over to my mob farm and farm levels. It's not a problem, and it should be somewhat fast at getting everything we want. You know, it's not brilliant, it's not bad either. It's a mixed bag of stuff, but it's more zombies than skeletons. That's kind of an issue. Well, the other thing we could do, of course, is just go and get a powered spawner. I think I've got, yeah, we get a little bit, but not a huge amount out of it. So let's think about this off the wall. We have got currently a mob essence farm over here, and ultimately and eventually this, I mean, you know, this structure is, oops, hang on, is supposed to have things going on anyway. So oops, let me just put that back in. So a guardian, enderman, skeleton. So we've got a skeleton mob there, and we have got a goodly amount of essence. Now we've got that going into this. Now we could take this out entirely, move it somewhere else, and then pump it out to another ender chest. I can't see That's all the greens, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, that's all green. So if we were to pump it out, then we'd have a mob duplicator and also a mob grinder, I think. Let me just have a look. Mob crusher. Mob slaughter factory. And a mob duplicator. Now, which one would I want? I'm trying to remember which is the... which is the one that's going to get me the best results. So we've got down here, we've got both of them, which is why I find this interesting, because we've got a mob crusher, which, and that is a mob, it's a mob crusher, isn't it then? So a crusher and a duplicator would give us pretty much everything and all of that. Okay, I think I know what we need to do. Question is where to do it. I suppose the obvious place is somewhere in here. Duplicator and a crusher and certainly a range add-on to make it fit a certain distance, which would be iron +3. That's big enough, isn't it? And we need to do something with this. Alright, let me get that pulled together. Back in a moment. Alright, so first things first, we brought out our many buckets of essence and we brought them out and we put them into the green goes into here, and this goes into green for no reason other than I like pink green. That is up there, which has got a full tank of essence and some villagers, so let's put that one to the test, shall we? Right, you are not draining automatically into... okay, that is fine. You should be, but that's not a problem. What we'll do is we shall... I'll just use a bit of this glass, I suppose, and we shall pop one of those on there. And then... oh, hello. Librarian with a relatively crappy enchanter jam and a... right, well, we don't want to ruin our relationship with these guys, so I definitely need 3 of those, and put that away, and then we're going to need you. Grab one of them, pop that up there, no, pop that there like so. Now that is done. Okay, and then we can... Right, so that is working, and we can... doesn't matter, I'm not worried. It's not like they're not an infinite resource, is it? Oh, hang on. I know, I'm a monster. Right, let me get you together. So, at this point, this thing is now working fine, even though this is over here. Now, I've come through this side with an aim to building the thingy on here. So we've got the mob duplicator, and if I remember my distances correctly, I went 1, 2, 3 on that. So as long as... what's going on here? Let me out, thank you. As long as we have got 3 3 distance. So if I come from here, go 1, 2, 3, 1. This is fine, and then we can come this way. 1. If I say here, that's actually no. Let's bring you in line with there. It gives me 3 to there, 3 to there. We've got you. That's fine, and we can give you that range upgrade, and you are active with whatever. We'll sort that out. We can sort out turning it off and on again later. Now I've got this tempered glass which is immune to light and explosions. So if we come 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 like that, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. That would be our cell. Explosions are not necessary, but it's actually useful. I'll be tempted to try this against say a wither skeleton at some point. Let's get rid of that. Let's make sure that this is lit reasonably well, and we'll continue on with this thing. And again, I'll tidy the blocks up and make it more integral to this area later. The main thing is I need to get a source of bones, and this is the fastest and quickest way I can think of doing it, is to spawn the skeletons in and grind them down, which we'll put the grinder in a moment. We should actually be able to have a look at that. If we go in there and say show working area, we can see that that's plenty big enough. Hide working area. But if we pop in here now and stick in our mob crusher, try it the other way around. And give that an upgrade and say show working area, we should see that that is now covering all of that, so that's fine. Do you know what I didn't do? And that is I didn't bring, we need another ender tank which is going to be lime green all the way through to feed, because when we kill them, even though we're using mob essence to create the let me just pop that there, pop you on here, and if we jump back into my bag, grab some more cables, we should have a fluid extractor which should go straight in there. Needs RF. I'm going to need a couple of flux points. One for that, one for that. How do I want to do this? That is a very good question. I suppose what we're going to have to do is something like that. It's a shame because, you know, we're going to have those holes, but we'll live. And then we're going to have another fluid extraction cable there. We're going to have an item extractor here. We're going to put the power through the back here. I'm going to stick a black hole unit there and a torch here. Let me get this right. No, that I need a little bit of cable, and hopefully this will work. Bring that through here, bring you through to there, and that is going to go there. And then this will be set to be some bone, which I don't think I've got on me. I mean, it's possible I've got a bone somewhere, but it's probably quicker to go and grab it anyway. That will be a tank to push it over there. Everything else other than bones will get voided in there because I don't want all of the bows and arrows and everything. That should collect the bones, and all being well, we should have an infinite supply of skellybobs, or at least an infinite as far as we've got with that. Let me get a lime. I think it's lime. So another tank in lime, and bones, and we should. Oh, and the flux things. Let me get those sorted, and I shall be right back with you. Alright, I've put a redstone receiver and transmitter in so we can turn this thing off and on. I have got now a thingy, which is fine, and that will go to... let's go with turbine 2. Power and juice, and in theory... oh, and I've got a door, so the detector's here. I can actually get quite close before it opens, so I don't have to worry about inadvertently setting that off. Where is my skeleton? Let's go and just put this in. Seems to be working okay so far. That's good. We've got a bone, so we'll put the bone in there. We shall put this here, and we shall connect you up to there, and again we'll put you on. I'm going to put you on purple turbine this time, so that's on full. That's always active. Blah blah blah, doing its thing. Don't think there's anything much to worry about. We've got one bone. We'll lock you to be bone, and 5 bones. What I am curious, that's arrows. Doesn't seem to be ever getting bone. That's fine then, always on. That was a cow. There's no cows here. So that is... that's definitely draining back into the system. We are seeing multiple items coming through here, and all of that is... now it is a bit of a shame that we're avoiding all the XP chunks, but I'll live. I mean, I suppose I could put another tank here, and yeah, that might actually not be a bad idea. Let me go and get another... was that a cow I just saw? I could have sworn I just saw a cow go down. Interesting. I mean, it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, but I don't really need that. And I don't really need those either. It's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, but you know what? It's actually not bad. So if I were to throw... oh, I need to, hang on. Let me go and grab another black hole controller for the XP blobs. And we'll see how that goes, shall we? Alright, added XP, let's see how that goes. Because, I mean, after all, it'd be a shame to waste it. But it is certainly going at a fair old rate. What I'm not seeing is this going up, which is interesting in itself. Didn't see any there. Didn't see any there. There was one. Got one. Alright, it's just not very common. But still, waste not, want not. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I mean, it's going to take a while for the bones to build up. We're going to have to AFK in the area. But what we can do while we're doing that is I can... because I have got all of the other build boxes on me. So it's somewhere in one of these. I think it's this one. I should have everything we need to continue working down. Well, most of what we need to continue working around here. So I can certainly continue working. I can box this in and yeah, well, I'll get this done. Be back in a sec. Alright, well, of course, we started off building a saucer and we ended up building a skeleton farm, which pretty much sums up my my builds sometimes. But anyway, this is working pretty well. It's now integrated into the actual structure here. Obviously, not as much going back. Uses more. There's not an infinite cheat here. There, skeleton on a cow. What the hell is a skeleton on a cow? I've never seen a skeleton on a cow. That's weird. But yeah, it's ticking up steadily. And what I would be interested to see, because I've moved the purple power really dropped off suddenly. I'm just going to get a screenshot of this in action if I can. Let's try again. And again. Gotcha, I think. I'm going to turn this off and I'm just going to head back and see just how much power we actually used over the flux network, because as I say, the purple power went down really rapidly, but we've kind of abused this system over, and it was also overnight. Yeah, we've not even touched it. Yeah, that's fine. So we have kind of abused the power system in this, and consequently, when I look at my flux points, for example, I can't. I've been naughty. I should label these. And you know, that's the plate machine. Where is that? That's God knows where. I'm willing to bet that that's probably actually that. If I were to go and look at that now, was that? I don't know which one. Yeah, it was that one, wasn't it? Was it? No, it wasn't that one actually. It was that one. I think we can actually. Can you not actually track them down? Oh, there, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. But I can now AFK there. I can get a whole load of bone meal, which means that we can then go over and, you know, continue working on the temporary base here. I mean, it's not going to be massive. Don't get me wrong. This is not going to be massive, although I do want it to look quite nice. So, yeah, not a bad evening's work. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. And bye for now.